show. Appreciate you being here today.
My favorite radio show, The Woodsy Show. You guys are amazing, especially Woodsy.
The Woody Show.
So Greg was telling us a story about, and Gina too, she had some guys show up at her door trying to sell her like a 5G something.
Yep.
And then Greg had that crazy lady.
It was so weird.
She knocked on the door and she had a crock pot in her hand.
A hot crock pot,
Yeah.
massive, full of food. And I opened the door and she just said, "Hi, I'm here." And I said, "Hi."
Yeah, hi.
For
I was
what?
very confused.
Yeah.
And then she said, I'm here. And she just kept saying that. I said, "Who are you looking for?" "The couple who lives here." I said, "I live here." "The couple who lived here moved over 4 years ago." "Oh, they did?" "But what? Oh, they did? What? The Armenian couple?" I said, "No, they're not Armenian." "The couple with one son?" "No, they don't have a son."
I think you just have the wrong house
I
altogether.
think you have the wrong house.
Yeah, it was
What?
like, is anybody looking for an old parent who's off their meds?
And then she wandered around. So just yesterday, I saw my neighbor, and you know how every neighborhood has what I call the mayor of the neighborhood?
Oh, totally.
This guy has lived there for years. He knows everybody on the street.
Oh, yeah, we have one of those guys.
Their comings and goings. He knows
Right.
who's married, who's divorced, how long they've lived there. So I saw him, and I told him about this lady. He said, "That's so weird. There's no Armenian couple with one son that lives on our street." So the mystery continues. That's the latest on that. With no idea. So then I went back and I looked
Maybe
at
she's casing the joint.
Yeah, maybe she has the wrong street.
Maybe she's a ghost.
just
Yeah, maybe it's a ghost.
She died 40 years ago. Yeah, so I looked at the Ring doorbell. When she left my house, she just kind of wandered down the driveway, looked left and right, and then continued down the street. And I think she went to one more house at least, but before the footage
crock pot
cut out. Yeah,
I don't like
She's
this.
dead in the woods.
yeah, but if the guy who knows everything about the neighborhood doesn't know any
Yeah.
couple like that,
She doesn't exist.
it's a mystery.
Dude, the guy who lives at the end of our street, he's a retired FBI agent. And so this guy, he knows everything. It's like just a hobby of his to just know everything and, keep an eye on stuff.
Support that.
Yeah. Anyway, guy's really cool. And, he'll tell you like, "Oh, I noticed you're leaving for work earlier these days."
I don't like that.
That's like my neighbor.
And by the way, you can't see my house from his house, but he knows because his cameras will trigger as my car goes
Right.
by, and he goes, "Oh, there he goes."
Nah,
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, but like he knew like when people's mailboxes were getting broken into, he had a license plate number. He had everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
does he have a job?
No, he's retired. He's a
Okay.
retired FBI agent.
Oh, there we go.
You must have closed your eardrums to me.
I did.
You're dumbs.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you know what you're never going to do? Screw with him.
Right.
No.
And now you know that.
And
No.
I like when neighborhoods have that person.
Yeah, me too. I love it.
Because he'll
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
"Hey, I think you might have left your garage open." "Oh, thank you."
But
I
I don't
would've-
like I saw when you left for work.
Well, I mean, I kind of like it just because I know that he's an up and up guy.
At
Yeah.
least he's telling you
Yeah,
about it.
and it's more from like a security standpoint, like
Right.
he's paying attention.
Okay, so he's
You know?
volunteer neighborhood watch.
Yeah, but anyway, there was a thing yesterday. I was on my way to go meet my wife and kids, and all of a sudden there's these cops everywhere. They have a few of them lined up, like coming up the one side of the street. And at the end of the street where you would turn off of that main street, there was 2 other cop cars blocking the end of the
Good
street,
boy.
Oh, wow.
and 5 people lined up ready to go into this house.
Like swat
Like
it?
5 officers. They weren't swatted up, but they were just 5 officers lined up, getting ready to go in. Now, this house every year puts up some kind of Christmas something on every square inch of their yard. It looks crazy.
Okay. So Greg
My
supports
kids
this as well.
call it the Christmas pig house because they have like this random Christmas pig.
Like,
It's
no.
a pig
nice.
with a Santa hat on.
Oh,
No rhyme or reason.
That's cool.
Anyway, I would love to know what the hell happened there.
Is this a different house than the one that has 18 people living in the garage? Okay.
Yeah, this is not on my street. I was leaving the neighborhood, and on the way out, I passed by this house that we notice all the time, and there were all these cop cars and a line of about 5 cops getting ready to go into the house.
I was about to ask you, and now I realize you've never been on Facebook, but a lot of neighborhoods have Facebook community groups where
Yes.
they'll post
Yeah.
like, "Hey, if you saw all those cops, here's what happened."
My
Yeah.
neighborhood has that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
like,
really
oh,
awesome.
hey, we found this dog in the
There's a
neighborhood.
lot of nosy people in my neighborhood. I'm sure
Yeah.
they got that somewhere.
And
Dog.
that happened in my neighborhood one time too. My neighbor's house, all the cops were around it. They wouldn't let us on the street, and we did all find out what happened. And it turned out they had a whole lot of stolen goods in their garage.
Oh.
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
They got busted, but
Exciting.
word got around. We found
Yeah.
out.
So we have a mutual friend, myself, Sammy, and Gina, Mark.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
He was telling me a story one time. This neighborhood he lived in, there was a house, and the windows, the owner had like painted them black on the inside.
Oh, yeah.
And inside, did you ever hear the story?
I have, yeah.
They were doing circumcisions. They were doing like all kinds of other like body modifications.
Wow.
Yeah, they were doing all kinds of crazy stuff in this house. Like nobody knew for the longest time until they got busted.
Yeah.
They have blinds.
I know.
Yeah, but you don't.
But the
You don't
parents
want to trust
around
the
with-
blinds.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't trust those.
Yeah, but when you're doing circumcisions off the books,
You gotta
Yeah.
paint
Mark
those
was all
windows.
pissed he wasn't
Yeah.
invited.
Going to that.
Yeah,
Who's
but it
bringing their baby to get an off the
Well,
book circumcision?
I don't know
It's
if
not
it's
for
babies.
It's not a bris.
yeah, it wasn't for
It
babies.
was like
This is
body mod.
like
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Sounds
Okay.
like willing adults.
It wasn't a certified moil
Yeah.
from the Jewish community.
no, they were doing like those crazy body mods,
Yeah.
Prince Alberts and stuff. They were
Yeah.
chicks getting circumcised,
Ew.
like female
Voluntarily?
circumcision. Yes, female.
Ooh,
There were
I
all
heard that
kinds. Yeah, there were all kinds like really weird. I mean, it's weird enough going to somebody in a neighborhood for a circumcision.
Let alone.
Yeah,
I'm
but-
envisioning those tongue splitting.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The derma
the
beads
ball
and
bearings
Oh,
under your
yeah, that was the other one.
skin.
They would implant horns.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you heard that part too, right?
Yeah.
No, thank you.
It's like, what the hell? People are
Find
so
out
weird.
that's your neighbor.
Yeah, this is just why you just don't talk to your neighbors.
How weird.
I don't talk to
I
them.
don't.
You won't know, and because then it won't bother you. You know.
Yeah, I like being neighborly. I like, especially the guy that knows everything.
How about just a wave?
Yeah, that's
I-
good
The
enough.
wave is good. Smile, wave. Hey.
I have one neighbor in my neighborhood that I have the phone number and we communicate, and that's about it. And then I wave to everybody else.
All right, we're gonna take a break. More Woody shows next.
Coming up next on The Woody Show. I don't know. I can't predict the future, but maybe it'll be something like.
Okay.
The Woody Show, back in the bed. Alt 98.7. LA's new.